Okay, I think we've just about got things going here. Just refresh some things, make sure everything is working. See if I can get that to stop shaking. Every time I touch it, it shakes more. Let's see here. Almost got things going. Change my view here. That's not the view I was trying to get. Oh my goodness. Dave Newman, good morning. Well, afternoon now, but good to see you there. Is it still shaking? Is it still moving? A little bit? Oh. A few minutes for a few people to pop in. July, time for the July live stream. So, you know, as usual, the second Saturday of every month. Jumping in here. Let's see. A few people starting to trickle in. There's my mouse. Man, so disorganized this morning. How are things going, Dave? Been doing well? Been catching fish steady? Hopefully. One thing I can say for sure is that I've been lucky. I know not everybody is catching or catching consistently from the messages I've been getting the last few weeks. I've been lucky that, you know, even though I've had a couple of small blanks, you know, short sessions, I've been catching really consistently right now. So, yeah, we're really lucky, especially since Kevin and I have been putting our focus pretty much on a new spot every week. Some swims we've never been to, some swims we've not been to for years. We've been hitting these pretty hard, you know, just pick a spot. Okay, yeah, we haven't been there in like 3 years. Okay, let's go try that. And yeah, we're still catching. I was out Wednesday morning or Thursday morning. I was out, and I had 3. And in typical Dave Pendlebury fashion, he jumps in, shows up for an hour, catches 2 fish right beside me, and ducks out because he had to go to work. So his typical smash and grab kind of session, but that was 5 fish for the 2 of us in the span of about 4 hours. So we did really well in a spot that I had put very little effort into so far this season. I think that was my second session in that spot, and I've now had 5 fish myself from that spot in 2 sessions, so it's not too bad. Let's see here. Dave, your cousin Jeff and you are up to 50 this year. That's awesome. And you and Jimmy are at Port Dalhousie watching joggers. I was at Port Dalhousie watching joggers about an hour and a half, just almost 2 hours ago. I was scoping that spot out myself, thinking about a session there sometime soon, and there's that 80-foot or 90-foot yacht sitting there. It's kind of in my way. That's in the spot that I want to fish, but that spot still looks good. And we haven't been back there since we did that live stream with Goldie last year, when he managed to get a fish live for the cameras while we were there. So, you're at the grandstands. That's not Port Dalhousie. That's that park lake. It's not the same. Got to cross the road to be Port Dalhousie. But hopefully you guys will get into a bunch of fish. Have you had any so far? It would be nice if I heard some good productivity from that spot. So I haven't been there yet this year. Nothing yet. Lots of teasers. They're around. Yeah, are you guys getting the rain? Because when I left there was no rain whatsoever up there. I come back home, and it has been pouring so bad the last hour and a half that the leak issues I have upstairs in the addition on my house, it's just pouring in. I've had to put out 6 buckets, and just on the other side of the basement here, there's one spot that very rare occasions, like once or twice a year, that if a heavy rain happens, it'll leak. Oh yeah, it just flooded right out on me. So I just spent the last half hour doing that, cleaning that up. So yeah, the rain here in South Niagara is just horrible right now. Hoping it lets up for a while so I can get everything cleaned up. This live stream is my break from cleaning up a watery mess right now. You guys got just a sprinkle there. Well, maybe that'll turn the fish on for you. It's been so hot. I would imagine the water in that place is not the best temperature for productivity. But with this rain changing things around, changing the pressure, should probably stir some fish up. A few minutes in and we're not up to our normal number of people watching. I wonder where everybody is. Hopefully they're fishing, but it'd be nice if a few more would jump in. Close enough to net them there. Well, then get them. Catch them. Get on it. But yeah, as I mentioned, been lucky. Kevin and I have been really fortunate with the spots we've been going to, where the blanks are very few and far between, and really only on our short sessions. The last run of blanks we actually had was in the beginning of June, kind of like the end of May into the beginning of June, where our long sessions we were catching consistently, but our short sessions, like through the week or a Saturday morning instead of our full Sunday, we were blanking a lot. And now we went from blanking like 3 out of 5 sessions to now we're blanking like 1 out of 5. And yeah, I'm quite pleased. It's a lot better. A few big fish came out last weekend. You will see a video of that session. Right now, as it stands, I've got a little bit more editing to do, but I have 4 videos ready for release. So we're going to keep with our every 2-week schedule, even though it's not really helping the channel to have them spaced that far apart. But it's a lot easier for me right now to keep up with the filming and the editing. I want to get about 10 in the bank before I consider going back to weekly. So for right now, we're going to keep it every 2 weeks, but we have 4 videos ready to go, and we'll have more coming. I'm hoping to do some filming tomorrow. Tyler 420, a buddy and I caught 6 to 7 fish by the walking bridge, nothing over 10 pounds earlier in the week. Yeah, your average is not going to be very high in that spot, but you can get a lot there. It's what we found from that particular spot, especially by that little bridge, is if you're on them, you will catch fish like crazy. We've had like 20-25 fish sessions there easily, and then we've gone there and completely blanked. Fish all over you. They're jumping over the bait. You're getting the liners, everything like that. You just can't get a bite. So it's one of those spots where if you're catching, just be happy you're catching. If you're not, move around. There's lots of other swims in that park. But yeah, your average is never going to be more than 8 or 9 pounds tops. There's the odd good fish in there. Goldie had that 14-pound mirror. I had one nice big common, about 13 and a half. But yeah, it's more of a, when you're on them, it's a number spot. And we've seen some bigger fish there, but they seem to be a lot smarter. Really hard to catch them. Coffee. Well, I'm glad to hear you guys are catching, though. That's important. Crow Black, haven't seen you for a while. Are the biggest Canadian carp in rivers or lakes? Well, I'll be honest with you, we don't know. The biggest ones that seem to be recognized or caught in a way that people can actually hear about it are coming from rivers. But you got to remember that for us, we're right in the Great Lakes, especially where I am. I'm right between Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. So yeah, I can get some huge fish in the Niagara River that joins the two, but we know that there are some monsters in Lake Ontario, some absolute monsters in Lake Erie, and all the tributaries off of them. So it's really hard to say. You know, there could be 50, 60, even bigger pound fish in those Great Lakes that we may never ever see. You just don't know. But we do know in rivers like the Niagara River, the St. Lawrence River, some of the rivers that come up off of Lake Ontario, like the Trent or the Otonabee and Peterborough, you know, all of these tributaries have a pretty consistent run of 30-pound fish. There's got to be bigger. Absolutely has to be. So I couldn't tell you if it's rivers or lakes, but we definitely have big fish in all of them. You know, obviously there are certain rivers that cater to big fish a little bit better because of the natural food sources being more abundant. St. Lawrence, Niagara, you know, your bigger rivers. But you can't rule out some of the smaller ones, because if they don't get the fishing pressure, or they just happen to be really rich in natural food, it's anybody's guess. You know, I've been watching a few videos from a few other local YouTubers recently, you know, just to try and keep up with what everybody else is doing, so I kind of know where people are going. I don't want to go start doing a bunch of videos where somebody else is filming quite regularly in, because obviously that'll interfere with them, and just makes it look like I'm jumping in their spot. But the one guy I was watching the other day, he's been fishing this tiny little creek where his average is normally, you know, only 7-8 pounds, and he pulled one out that was like a high 20 recently. So, you know, never expecting that fish to be there. Sometimes they just end up there. You never know. We have such a massive amount of unfished waters. Yes and no. We have a massive amount of very, very busy waters. However, they're not necessarily fished for carp. You know, the Niagara River, very few people actually fish it for carp. You know, it's growing more. More people are starting to realize that there's a good potential there. But for years, it was just a couple of us locals that were doing it. And it doesn't matter if it's the upper or the lower. You know, you go down to the Whirlpool, Queenston, areas like that. Lots of fish to be caught there, but in the same, you know, all the way in the upper, all the way out to Lake Erie, any of those spots, you know, there's a lot of little spots you can pop into. You look at it and you're like, I don't want to fish this. Current's too fast, or there's no real flat spots to present your bait, or there's drifting weed. Guess what? There's fish there. It's just a matter of taking the time to learn the swim, learn the water, and just being careful. The whole Niagara River as a whole is dangerous, so as long as people are being careful, taking their time to learn it, you're going to be able to produce fish there. Unfortunately, I haven't had a fish out of the upper Niagara since March. I've only fished it a few times since, but I've just focused on all the other spots that Kevin and I go to, a lot of new spots. You know, I'm still sticking with my kind of promise that I made to myself this year to not travel more than 25 minutes away from home. So if I'm, you know, getting outside that time frame, it's kind of out of my reach. I'm not putting any effort there. But at the same time, you know, the Niagara River is literally 2 blocks away, so I could pop over, but I want to try these other spots, see how it's going. I'll start putting more attention on the Niagara in a couple weeks. How's your season going, Crow Black? Have you been doing well? Tough but exciting. Keep putting in the work, and that monster will turn up. Specimen hunting is like that. Really love hearing your views. Well, I really love sharing them. If you haven't noticed yet, I tend to ramble and talk a lot. So unless I have somebody like Goldie or Kevin sitting next to me to rein me in, it all just comes out. Tyler 420, that name sounds familiar. I don't know if I've had many encounters with you in the chat here before, but I think, if I remember hearing right from someone else, you are on the Niagara Fishing Forum a lot in the carp section. Is that right? I don't go on there myself. I made a choice to stay away from that forum a number of years ago for other reasons. Really didn't like the way people were behaving and interacting. So I got out of there. I'm not a forum kind of person. I don't like to hang out in those areas. But as far as I know, if I'm right, you're the one that actually is posting a lot about carp fishing in there. Is that right? Is that you? if he's even still in there. And people duck in and out all the time, so we don't even know. While I'm thinking about it, while we're waiting for a response to see if Tyler's in there. Oh, you own the site now. He is in there. Okay. Didn't know there was an ownership on there, so that would be why I hear that you're doing a lot of the posting. Very cool. Maybe I'll pop in and take a look. I have a few friends that still spend some time on there, so maybe I'll check it out if it's under new ownership. Maybe the behavior will be different. Maybe it'll be worth me chiming in a little bit. But yeah, one thing I wanted to mention, just as I tend to always do in the live stream now, because I am a representative here in Canada for the Urban Carp Collective, if you don't have server UCC gear, but you want some, pop over to the website, Urban Carp Collective at bigcartel.com. There's always different deals going on, always new merch coming in. It's just something you want to keep an eye on if you want to get some of the hats, the shirts, just be part of the movement overall. Follow the Facebook page, Instagram page. There's a lot of new content that us reps are putting together, starting with, started last month with what we're calling the collectives, where all the reps are putting together a big group of photos and a write-up about how that particular month has gone for us. So it would definitely be something worth checking out if you're into that sort of thing. It's kind of like having a digital magazine kind of bit. I can't see the chat because everything's got to restart. I totally just lost power. So hopefully my phone has kept going. Oh, wow. Let me see if I can get some light from the window. Wow, this is nuts. Okay, you know what? I'm going to have to bring the chat up on the phone here because everything else has just died on me. So maybe I can keep up with this. Where is the chat options? Let's see here. All messages visible. There we are. Oh my God. All right. Sorry, guys. Let me just get caught back up, see what I missed here. I do apologize. It's not going to be easy for me to see the chats, and I know the lighting sucks all of a sudden, but where I live and storms happen, we tend to lose power. Could be for a while, could be for 5 minutes, it could be for 5 hours. It's hard to say. Let me just make an adjustment here. Well, okay, so let's see here. Crow Black doesn't fish much these days as he lives in Scotland because of insane work schedule, but plan to get back out one day. Always enjoy seeing your Canadian adventures. Well, I certainly hope that you get back on the bank soon and you can actually enjoy some of it again, and hopefully share some of those adventures along with us. Shoot us a message, send us some photos. It'd be great to see. Tyler, post a few of your YouTube videos on it. Maybe a few new subscribers for you. Well, hopefully. I do appreciate you sharing that. Thank you very much. Sorry about the shaking, guys, but it's what I got to do right now while I got no power. Dave Newman, fish on. Yes, buddy. Get in. Hopefully that turns out to be a chongo. And if you could, try not to catch that mirror again, because now we both had it. Save it for somebody else. Crow Black, best wishes. Look forward to your next videos. Tight lines. Looking forward to bringing them to you. Thank you so much. Kevin, the mouthpiece. You're going to post the 2 new PBs from last weekend. That will be in the video. I haven't even edited that footage yet, but that will be coming in a few weeks. You will get a heads up on that, though. Don't worry. Curious, Kevin, do you have power right now? Because this side of the river has just gone down completely. Like I'm literally going by window light all of a sudden. Big Mike V52. When you fish the beach on Lake Ontario, do you pick a spot close to a specific feature like a creek discharge, or do you pick a spot and bait and wait? I don't fish the beaches in Lake Ontario very often. I have a number of times, but in all fairness, it's another group of guys locally that do that. That's kind of their area. So I only really duck in when I'm on a chance to have a little social with them. For me, my personal choice would be go where there's creek mouths, because you always know there's going to be a source of fresh water, a source of fresh food, natural foods, excuse me. And sometimes the bottom contours change there. where you have the outflow, where you might have a little deeper pockets going in. So let's say you've got the shore going kind of this way. You're going to have contour lines that go out and drop. Where you have a creek, it cuts through those contour lines. So the change in the bottom structure is sometimes a holding area for those fish. So I would always go to a creek mouth rather than just bait and wait, because you never know how long you're going to have to wait there. Let's see here. Kevin, you lost power too, eh? Yeah, that sucks. Of course it's going to happen during a live stream too. Craziness. It sounds like my little guy just got up, so he probably realized that the power's out as well. I can hear the fish tank is stopped, so hopefully they'll do all right. Hopefully, though, the rain has stopped, and that'll take care of all the leaks that I got to deal with. You guys still in the chat there? Yeah, there we go. It's coming up. Oh, you have power. Well, I don't like you then. That's not fair. I have stuff to do still. I got editing to do. Oh, I am glad I'm not in the middle of an edit when that went out. That would have sucked. That would have been a lot of work to have to redo. Well, can't say I don't make these interesting. That's always good. At least I got a light source of some sort. So it looks like, the way I'm working off the phone now, it looks like the chats are only going to come up as you guys put them in. So I guess that's just to not block my view. So if you guys got any other things you want to bring up or questions you want to ask, I'll do my best to answer them and see how that goes. We're about 22 minutes in, so we'll go for a little while longer. If this power doesn't come back on, that's going to be a pain in the butt. Okay, so the chats are showing up, but it's not scrolling for me. Little 8-pounder almost pulled the pod in. Yeah, little guys will do that. I always say the little guys hit harder and run harder, but then they give up easy. But yeah, you're right in that average range for that size of that spot. So that's good stuff. Glad you got a fish there. I kind of wish you could kind of chime in and show us the picture, though. It's not the mirror, right? It's just a little common. I need to do a session in that spot. I haven't been there so long, but it's been so hot and so sunny. There's absolutely no protection in that park. I hate going there and just sitting out in the exposed sunlight out in that weather. It's too bad. I wish, we could set up a brawley and not have to worry. I know people complain every time we have, because we've done it, we've tried, but people complain. People like to walk their dogs there and be all prissy, but screw them. This is weird. It's a little bit awkward doing this with not being able to see my monitors and stuff. But it's fun. It's interesting. At least we get to still continue to chat. The nice thing is if I had everything else set up the way I'm working on it, we would have been running off of a camera connected directly to power and all that. Would have lost you completely. At least doing it this way with the phone, we can keep you in there. So yeah, big bonus there. That all worked out nice. Now with the schedule moving forward for the rest of at least the next few months, with the videos coming out every 2 weeks, there's going to be a couple of months, I think September is one of them, where the live stream actually happens on a day that would be a normal release date for a video with our every 2 week schedule. So there may be an opportunity for me to do the live stream on the bank. I really want to try and get back to doing a few more of those. It's a little bit tricky with some of the spots I fish because of the fact that if I'm in a spot like on the Niagara, my cell service thinks I'm in the States, so I can't live stream doing that. If I'm in another spot, that might work out just fine. But we'll have to see how that goes. Oh, looks like Dave sent me a photo. I don't think I can share it, so I will look at that after, Dave. But I don't think I have a way to actually put that up for you right yet. I'll work on figuring out how we can do that. But yeah, there may be a few months, depending on how the schedule goes, where I might actually just release a video on that day instead of doing a live stream. It's going to depend on what the timing's like, what the schedule is like as far as what else I'm doing. So we'll see. I really don't want to miss the live streams because I like being able to chat with you guys, but we'll see. If it happens, it happens. We'll sort it out. I'll put a post up so people know what's going on. You know, maybe I can do a shorter live stream those particular months, and you know, from the bank, something, maybe not the full hour, and then still post the video that week. We'll see. The dog's not snoring. She's sleeping, but she's not snoring. She's usually snoring right now. And I can't see anything that's on my desk. It's too dark. There was, I had something I was going to show you, but I can't remember where I put it, and I'm not going to go crawling around in the basement looking for it now, because I'll have to use the flashlight on my phone to actually get out of the basement. There was a package. It's probably going to arrive sometime this coming week now, but there was one I was hoping was going to arrive before today. A few new bits and bobs that I've picked up that I wanted to do a little bit of a live unboxing with, but unfortunately it hasn't arrived yet. So I'm going to have to wait on that one. I'll probably be into it, and used half of it before we actually do the next live stream. We'll see. Looks like we've lost a few people. We've gone down to less than half of what we had in here earlier. Hopefully some people will jump back in, but yeah, with the lack of power, I'm probably not going to stay on much longer, because I'm going to have some other stuff to get sorted out now. Yeah, Dave, I got that picture. Thank you so much. I'll have a look at that after. Actually, you know what? I don't know. It's not going to let me do that right now. Let's see. Oh, I think I found a way to keep the chat up, maybe? Maybe did that work? Nope, it's fading out. So who else is still in here? Just so I know who I'm chatting with. Probably Dave, maybe Kevin. Kevin likes to sit quietly and not let anybody know he's there. Tyler's here. Perfect. Any questions from you, Tyler? You've been kind enough to share my videos on the forum. Maybe there's some questions you might have that I might be able to help answer, anything like that. As far as an update goes, there was somebody that was asking me earlier this week, and I apologize, I don't remember who. It was in the messages. Let's fish sometime. Let's see what we can do. There's always the chance for that. I'm all over the place. I'm never really fishing any one spot in particular, and sometimes the decisions aren't made until Saturday night, so we might be able to work something out. Stay in touch. I will say that much for sure. Stay in touch. Follow the Instagram, the Anglophiles Instagram if you can, because you can always shoot me a message through that. Now, sorry, just to go back to what I was saying there. There was a message that came through the other day. I apologize, I don't remember who. It was not a regular follower or a regular subscriber, but they were asking about the status of my homemade pop-ups, the Sweet Tooth pop-ups. They were sent out to Cody K and Dan Pattison, the winners of the Name the Pop-Ups contest. I think I mentioned it last month. Dan was in fact crushing on them. He's had a number of beautiful fish on those pop-ups. I have not heard from Cody K yet. So hopefully, and I think I said this last live stream, Cody, if you've used them and you've caught with them, I want to hear about it. I want to know, how is it working for you? If you've not used them yet, well, I get it, but let me know. I myself have not been using them yet, not for a while, but they did go in the bag on Thursday. So they are in the bag with me, and I will start putting them out there again, giving them a shot, see what happens. Hopefully, I can get on them. And if I do, I will try to do either a little bit of a live stream on Instagram or something with them. I don't think I'll do a separate video on YouTube here, but try and do a little segment with it to show that I have finally actually caught up my own pop-ups. But I'm very pleased that they've done that well for others. And some of the some of the stronger flavor in there. I think if you guys remember right, or go back to that video when we made them, there's a really strong anise flavor in there. And one of the things I've been catching on, which unfortunately is not available anymore, but the old licorice lust corn from Monster Carp Tackle, I've been crushing on that lately. I have like half of one of those little pots that we used to get of them, half of that left, and I'm putting that on with the double ESP pop-up corn. So, because I've been crushing on the pop-up corn by itself lately, the last 2 sessions I've had out just needed something else, a little bit more lately, and 1 kernel of that licorice lust corn underneath just to keep the scent going in the river. I've been fishing a lot of current lately. Yeah, absolutely smashing it up with that. So maybe the next time I'm in some of those spots, which will not be tomorrow, but soon, I will try one of those pop-ups, the sweet tooth pop-ups, and see how we do. What are you doing? Looks like the kid's awake. How are you? Is it dark coming down here? Because all the power's out. I don't think you're going to be able to see. People can just kind of see the top of your head. We're live with the Angler Files audience. There's a few people in there still.
There's only 3 people.
Is there only 3? Yeah, okay.
Yes, I counted and I saw.
Well, you can say hi. Sleepyhead.
Hi, everybody.
Actually, since you're here, and I am going to send you back upstairs in a few minutes while I finish this up.
Okay.
For those of you who do actually follow the videos, the next video to go up, which will be next weekend, so next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
This little bugger's in that video, and he shows me how it's done. Do you want to tell, should we tell people, or should we make them wait to see the video to know how big your fish was?
I'm just going to say it.
You can tell them. How big was your fish?
It was very big, but we didn't bring the scale thingy, so we didn't know what weight it was.
But what do we think it was? What's our guess?
Our guess when we fished it, it was 20 pounds.
In and around 20, probably just under. It was definitely a new PB for him, but unfortunately, because we didn't have the scale, we couldn't weigh it. But you will see it. He crushed it. He did well.
You will see it.
That video goes live next week.
Yes.
It was really windy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a super windy day. Okay, go pop back upstairs. I won't be on here much longer, and I'll come up and hang out with you, because we're gonna have some stuff to get done. I gotta clean up the little flood in the basement there. So.
What? There's a flood?
Yeah, at the bottom of the stairs there, a bunch of rain came in, so don't step there.
That's good. I thought that was dog pee.
No, don't be silly. It's water. Just go upstairs. All right, here. Let's see. Definitely better than anything your dad had caught lately. Zane, ha 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 ha. Yeah, talk all you want there, Kev. I seem to remember Aylin having a monster fish just a few months ago while you were with her. So, shut it. Tyler, no Instagram and Facebook. I'm on Carp Vanguard. I'll try and stay away from the most social media. I feel like I'm missing out on lots of fishing stuff. I'll be in touch, though. I am on the Carp Vanguard. Haven't been on there in a week or 2, but I am most definitely on the Carp Vanguard. It is a wonderful site to have some interaction with people, so absolutely drop me a message through there. Sorry about the shaking, guys, but for me to be able to see the screen, I gotta keep touching it. I have an attachment to attach to the wall so that I can actually have this more rigid and not shaking, which is something definitely I'm going to set up now, because now I have to worry. Didn't even think about power outages and how that would affect live streams in the future. So I will set that up soon so that it makes it a little bit easier to run off my phone. Now, what do we got? 34 minutes. So we'll go a little bit longer. Kevin and I will be fishing tomorrow. We have some deciding to do on the location. I went scouting locations this morning. I checked out 4 locations. I've come to the conclusion that I want to fish one of 3 of them. However, they all have their ups and downs, so we will sort that out in a chat soon. But One thing that we have had to do recently, which we won't have the advantage of tomorrow, is pre-baiting. Unless one of us runs out this afternoon, which I don't think is going to happen. Pre-baiting is not going to happen, but it's been helping us lately. You know, if we come up with an idea, you know, a couple of days in advance or even the day before, we've been able to get out and put a little bit of bait in. Has anybody else been doing well just rocking up to a spot, not pre-baiting? It's, you know, relatively short sessions. Obviously, if you're there for a whole day, you bait up in the morning, catch in the afternoon, no problem. But has anybody been having some success lately where they're just showing up for a 3 or 4 hour session, throwing a bit of bait in and absolutely crushing it? Or has everybody else had to be following the pre-baiting option this season? Because we're finding that more so than previous years, the pre-baiting is really making a big difference in our catch rates this season. You know, last year pre-baiting didn't do a whole lot, but oh, my foot's stuck in the chair. Yeah, this season pre-baiting, even if it's just the day before, you know, a half a pail in the day before, and then we show up, might still take a couple hours to get a bite, but it's definitely made a much bigger difference this season than last. I'll give you guys a chance if you want to answer that one or not. Given that the Carp Vanguard was brought up, again, if you haven't checked that site out, it's social media for carpers. Get on it, check it out. There's lots of cool stuff going on. And if you check out the challenge series that Nathan's been doing with other anglers, I am absolutely loving watching those videos for the challenge series yet. I still need to watch the one with him versus Craig Ross from Kingston. I made the mistake of watching it late at night the other night, and I fell asleep. So I haven't seen it all the way through yet. I got to watch it again. But I'm absolutely loving the series, and I'm really looking forward to the challenge that Nathan and I are going to have. It'll be improved carp angling versus the Angler Files. We're going to do a 15-hour session, 5 a.m. to 11 o'clock at night. It's going to be awesome. That will be coming up soon, however. We haven't done it yet, so we just got to pick a date. Then Nathan and I can actually crack on with that. And then there's still more banter going back and forth about the 3-on-3 challenge that the last live stream seemed to create. 3 of us here in Niagara versus 3 of the northern fellas. Sean, Nathan, and Will versus me, Kevin, and Dave Pendlebury. We're working out the details on that, guys, and I'm happy to say that Kevin and Dave and I have come up with a location that we're very confident in, very pleased with. So we have our location chosen. It sounds like it's going to be a 24-hour session, noon one day to noon the next. This could be incredibly awesome if everything goes right and all the cards fall the way they're supposed to, you know, in our favor, obviously. So yeah, again, pop over to the Carp Vanguard, check out some of the stuff going on there. There's a lot of great conversations, lots of good anglers on there to interact with. And of course, Nathan's challenge series that you can watch on the Improved Carp Angling YouTube channel. They are fun, absolutely fun. I'm really enjoying how those are going. I'm moving my mouse around like I'm going to be able to see something on my screen, and there's nothing there. Let's see. Tyler, no pre-baiting for you lately. Usually last minute decision to go out. Yeah, it seems to be the way a lot of people are fishing this year. Short sessions, in and out. So pre-baiting is not coming into play for a lot of people like it did last year. Whereas last year we did it and it wasn't working as well as it is this year. Dom, hello. Good to see you in there. If you're wondering why it looks weird, if you're just chiming in, power went out halfway through. So we're just going by window light right now. Uh-oh, kid's back down here. Actually, Dom, since you're there, I did want to mention that your little tench video that you did, your smash and grab tench. Oh, what is this? Careful.
It's a glow stick. It's supposed to help you find the thing you wanted to show them.
I don't know if it's on this table, but thank you for being so thoughtful.
You're welcome.
Doesn't really help the lighting much, but see, I'm lucky. I have a very thoughtful kid. Yeah, Dom, your tench video, I really, really enjoyed that one. And as I commented on the video, I really, really wish I could catch a tench. Just a neat looking fish. That's a bucket list fish for me. There is a spot here in Canada where supposedly we can catch them, but I don't really want to drive to Quebec to get to that spot. You know, when I can manage a trip to Quebec for a proper fishing adventure, that'll be on my list. But yeah, one day I'll be in England and I'll be able to catch a tench. But it's just such a neat looking fish, so wild looking. Really enjoyed watching that video. You know, your silly antics are, as usual, very, very entertaining. Just getting the data usage warning on my phone now. Because obviously the Wi-Fi's down. But yeah, keep those videos going, Dom. I really enjoy watching your vids. And no, just so you know, I don't poo in the bath. Just like you said, I follow your instruction. I was actually, let's see here. Get on them while you can. A bit further to go to Europe to catch one. Yeah, but I'm going to have to make a trip over there at some point. You know, it's got to happen at some point. A couple years I'll be able to sort it out. With the leaks upstairs in the addition on the house. Got to come up with about 10 grand to fix that. So it's going to hold the trip off for a little bit. But, you know, I'm going to make it out there. One way or another, I'll make it out there sometime in, say, the next few years. Since you're in there and you like using lures a lot, I was actually casting some lures around the other day while Kevin was fishing carp. All I got was a rock bass, but it did remind me that maybe I should get out and do a little bass session or a panfish session sometime soon, because I do still like doing that. Even though those videos just tank on the YouTube channel. Nobody watches them as far as our viewers go, but I do enjoy doing them, so I'm going to have to do one soon. Anybody on here actually want me to do a little bit more lure fishing or panfish or other species? Because, you know, I always take the feedback and jot it down. Don't always get to it, but, you know, it's always helpful to hear what other people would like to see. You know, no matter what, I'm going to do the stuff that I want to do, but sometimes people have the same kind of ideas that I do, and I like to jump on them. Kevin, you're out. Call me after you wrap up and we decide on tomorrow. Nah. I'll just go to a spot and tell you where I am. How's that? That'll work out fine. Tyler, anything from the Niagara River? Well, like I said, I'll probably be hitting that in a few weeks soon. I'll wrap up a few of the other spots I'm in. Let's see here. Dom, get a little fish tank like Philly fishing to show us the fish with. Like catch it and put it in a tank to show the fish? That's just weird. You still making noise and interrupting down there? You came to read? Okay.
I want people to hear me read Dogman and Cat Kid.
I can't do that. That's copyrighted material, sir. So I need you to keep quiet. We're almost done here. Number one rule in the house on live stream day is don't come downstairs and interrupt. And that's all he's doing. You've never seen extreme Philly fishing videos? No, I can't say that I have. If I have,
I haven't.
I don't remember them.
What?
Stop interrupting. I'm going to flip you upside down and flush you down the toilet. No, can't say that I've seen those videos. I don't recognize the name of the channel. But if he's actually doing that, that's just odd. I don't understand why you would do that. Hey, stop making noise, please. I'm assuming you're saying that I should check this channel out, just to see what he's doing. Obviously, when the power's back on, I can do that. So right now, I can't look at much of anything. Quiet, please. I've asked you to go back upstairs, haven't I? Troublemaker. Always the troublemaker. He's a right character, decent to watch. Well, I'll check it out. I'll take a look, see what it's like. Might not be my cup of tea. I'm kind of particular with what I watch for some reason. So we'll see how it is. I might like it, I might not. I'm surprised I haven't heard anything from Will in here, so Will must not have chimed in. For those of you who may not have caught this play, Will has started his own YouTube channel back up after a long hiatus. You know, he was doing videos for us here on the Anglophiles for the longest time, but he's got his channel alive and rocking again. And I have to admit, the content he's putting on his channel, you know, I understand that Will's not everybody's cup of tea. We noticed that in the viewership on our channel, but I have to say his videos are great. The videos he's been putting on his channel, which I believe is just his name, William Machette or Will Machette, carp fishing, something like that. He is on YouTube. Excuse me. I'll try and throw a link in the description to this after it's done. Check his channel out. He's been focusing his efforts on more of that sentimental side of fishing that a lot of us appreciate, but very rarely show others. And, you know, he's been focusing on older equipment that has a certain attachment, sentimental attachment with spots, things like that. Just the video quality is constantly improving with what he's putting together, and I really do encourage everybody to go check it out. Again, as I mentioned before, Improved Carp Angling, his channel is awesome. Lots of technical details, lots of how-tos, really good stuff for people to follow if you're new or a seasoned angler altogether. And nice to see that the content is growing and showing up more and more on the Urban Carp Collective YouTube channel. So please check that out as well. Make sure you subscribe to that channel because there is a lot more stuff coming. Now, what are you doing? Just being a turd and interrupting.
I'm not trying to interrupt. I want to be here with you.
You're not trying to interrupt. You want to be with you. You're throwing the white balance off because your glowing face keeps catching the light from the window, and it makes my face go dark. See? Now listen, you got up. I got to make you something to eat because you're being mental. So I am sorry to say, guys, I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter than normal. Oh. You know, like I said, power's out. Got some leaks to take care of here in the basement, and you know, I got parenting to do. Don't even do that. That was awful. No, that hasn't been a cool trend for a long time. You were so behind the times.
Mine.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for, you know, continuing in the chat, guys. I really do appreciate it. Always great to interact with you. That's why I do the live streams. Have that chance to talk to you. Stop it, meathead. Seriously, stop it. We're going to go get some stuff taken care of, and I will be back here for the August live stream. That much I do. Stop, please. I will say for sure we will be back for August. Hopefully I'll have some more stuff to chat about. But for now, I'm going to sign off for July. Keep watching the channel. Starting next week, we have more videos coming out, including the little turd over here. It's a monster fish that he caught all by himself. It's great. And looking forward to sharing that and the other videos with you guys. And as mentioned, including two PBs that we got on film last weekend. So that video is a few weeks away, but it's going to be a good one. There's a lot of footage I have to edit there. Probably I think about 5.5, 6 hours of footage to go through for that particular session. So it's going to be good. Stick around watching the channel, guys. Share it, please. Really appreciate it if you could do that. And yeah, I will be back live in a month. Let's see here. There's a ghost in the background. Yeah, he's a bit of a turd. Good luck tomorrow. Thanks, Tyler. Take care, all of you. Really appreciate it. Dom, Tyler, Dave, Kevin, everybody that jumped in to say hi. Again, thank you. And we are out.